Michigan. His divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Seattle Seahawks and the 25-yard line. First down, Rivers. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5. And Oliver. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
Offense.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Working out of the gun, Rivers. Got a man. He finds Sanders. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. Over the middle, he hits Austin. He showed off a nice juke of the defender, but the next wave there to bring him down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far in the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Play fake. Rivers finding time. Great protection. Looking for Sanders. And this is caught. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or 2 in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage. Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'd be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Brandon Oliver taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball and throw it in. That hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. Now a play fake here on first down. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And they talked about how important the passing game was going to be against that defensive look. Good job there going to the air for the first down.
It's all about preparation. It's all about planning. And then it's about execution. So they put it all together in practice. Okay, this is what we think we're going to see. This is how they get to it. And then when the game comes, read it and attack it. How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty. He can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Detroit. Kobe Flater, 54 yards. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it.
He's got a man, complete. They get 39 yards out of that one. And it'll give the Seahawks a first down. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion. Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They go again with Oliver. And he's able to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people wonder.
A first down throw here for Rivers. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Brandon Oliver that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And that was incomplete, but I don't know how much of that falls on the quarterback. He was pressured.
Brandon, the rush showed up so fast, the quarterback had no chance to get the ball downfield.
On 2nd down, Rivers again. Miller on the catch over the middle. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. In the red zone this time. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Here's a carry for Oliver. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Emmanuel Sanders from 4 yards out. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Fielded about a yard deep. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
And his throw here is incomplete. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. It's a 47-yard field goal try from here, but instead they're going to opt to go for it on fourth down. It's a quarterback sneak. Give him 2 yards on that play, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches. The defense came out with a look that they had prepped for all week to attack. They took advantage, got the first down.
And the key words in there, prepped for all week. They really studied them, understood their tendencies, knew what they liked to do, and prepared their game plan accordingly. And, boy, the payoff was good.
Here we go now.
Now this time he'll look to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Austin Safarian-Jenkins, 28 yards. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And nowadays in NFL football, you have to account for all the receivers, sure, but the tight end's such a weapon, and they prove it right there.
Oh, without a doubt. And we're seeing now the golden age of tight ends catching the football. I go back to Kellen Winslow. To me, he was a prototype of what we're seeing today. We're seeing it each and every week now.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Rivers now to throw on first down. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Here's Coleman. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Well, there's what we call an even front or an odd front. And an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the two defensive tackles in a four-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business. Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though. All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers, too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Golf. I mean, let's face it. That should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touch. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. They go play action. Rivers. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
It's taken to the 26. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And that last touchdown drive, a good mix of pass and run. Defensively, they just looked a little out of whack. And it's so hard to stay up with an offense that has things going so well, where you're guessing and guessing wrong play after play. So what you need is someone on the defensive side of the ball leader, right?
to make a big play.
Yeah.
Throw that balance out of whack. That's what you're looking for now. Not worrying so much about guessing what the play call is.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now back to throw. He finds Beckham complete. The 20. Touchdown, Detroit. Odell Beckham with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Now he's having a nice little first half. Oh, this is blocked. And the Seahawks have it. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I remember when they changed the rule, and there was a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how's this going to affect things, having to kick a longer one now, much more of a field goal attempt, and the defensive guys saw it as an opportunity to get more block.
That's exactly right. There's more effort now. Before, when it was snapped down near the goal line, you would basically see guys just stand there.
Yeah, not anymore. Now, those guys are going after it because not only can they knock it away and change a little bit of momentum,
they can get 2 points.
They can pick it up and take it back for 2 points.
On the run, it's Oliver. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. Third and short yardage. Rivers got a man. He finds Sanders. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. 39 yards. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense, can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
A good pickup there of 20 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Luke Wilson from 6 yards away. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
They'll look to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get them the first.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that
first.
wasn't the first option.
No, not at all. It came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down.
All right, now, look at 56. All right, here we go. 56. All right, now, look at 56. Look at 56.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup, as we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports.
Yeah, that's perfect. 2, Davis, deep. I got to go.
Okay, and sorry about that. Didn't know Larry got cut off early. We are back and ready for the third quarter. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Here's Coleman on the toss. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
This is Coleman. And he stopped immediately there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. Well, there was no blitz. That was just a draw play that, to be frank, didn't fool anybody.
Did we hear the entire stadium screaming draw? Because it felt like everybody was all over that play, and the defense won that battle.
And he finds his target. It's sharp. 15 yards through the air and a first down. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line, giving them time to complete that first down pass.
Coleman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now.
Let's go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throw left side, complete to Sharp. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They go play action here on first down. Buying time to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, after watching him ring the bell that many times and put the ball in the end zone, throwing it, you had to figure they had to bring some type of pressure. They had to change things up on defense.
And able to get to him, put him on the ground, so maybe just something to throw him off a little bit.
Yeah, that had to feel a lot better for the defensive guys. They've been getting carved up in this one. To finally knock him on the ground and force an incompletion, that's got to be a sigh of relief.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So an excellent throw and an excellent catch there.
Zone coverage, which means you just have to find the open areas in between defenders. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Back to throw now on first down. Drops it off for Coleman. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
They'll look to throw again. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. His pass caught at the 4. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And a really long drive here, and it goes on. And quickly, they get to the line.
Now let's go.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Lions add on to their lead.
Brendan, is there any way you and I can join this quarterback in the zone he's in? He's absolutely feeling it. Touchdown after touchdown, throwing the ball.
They'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack. And they fail on the try for 2. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this for 3 to the 29. The big nose tackle, Danny Shelton, there to swallow him up.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. This will be taken at the 10. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And Detroit getting set to go now. The drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? But where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle to Beckham. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. Coleman now. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends his drive.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
They come out here in the eye. They will run again with Coleman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And they'll run it here. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. They're going to stop him right at the line. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
He'll look to throw, and he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up 1st downs and keeping the football.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And just a simple, basic neutral zone infraction here, partner.
Yeah, when you're ready to launch and go get the quarterback, sometimes you take off a bit too fast.
They'll send Beckham alone to the left side.
Green 39! Green 39!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Oh, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Looking to throw. That's caught at the 2. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. And now for the offense, this is play number 11 here on this drive. They come out here in the eye. They'll go with the keeper. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll try and sneak. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. It's their quarterback taking it in. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. So with 2nd and goal, still had a couple of downs to work with. They tried to sneak, and they got in.
I like the idea that they did it early in the down and distance count. 2nd down as opposed to waiting later on. I think it fooled them a little bit, but how about the push they got up front to get the quarterback through?
Big push and a touchdown to boot. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now a second down throw for Rivers. Surveying the field toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Now Rivers. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Danny Shelton in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Second down, Rivers. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. And it's a fumble. And they'll be in search of 11 yards here on third down. And now they're in the hurry-up. On third down, Rivers. And that is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Desperation time, Rivers on fourth down. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman, and he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Well, we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit, both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
Watch 35. All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. 58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there. I got him, I got him.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win.